You are listening to Viewpoints from Place Cloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
The London Stone is interesting because nobody knows exactly what it is. We think that this large stone was extant at the site from possibly the Roman period, although our first references to it are dated kind of between 1098 and 1108. What we do know is that the London Stone plays an outsized part in terms of how people think about London. It was a point of navigation, so people would say that they lived in houses near to the London Stone. The first mayor of London, Henry FitzAlwin's father, was known as Alwyn of Londonstone. And we know that it is a particular place where people would come to make statements about London. For example, in 1450, there was a rebellion against the government of Henry VI. Jack Cade, the leader of that rebellion, marched into London and struck his sword against the London Stone, saying that he was now in control of the city. So we think it was a sort of place that people would come to make announcements, to receive punishments, and make large statements, even though no one knows exactly what it was. There's some speculation from the 16th century that the stone had stood there from the 10th century and what they called the Rule of Ethelstan. However, we have absolutely no proof of that other than conjecture from the early modern period. What we do know is that this was a place where people would come to meet or sometimes make particular statements about what was acceptable within London. For example, in the 17th century, the Worshipful Company of Spectacle Makers, who were the guild that makes spectacles, saw that one of their guild members had made a particularly bad batch of glasses. In order to make a point of it, they brought the man and all of his spectacles to the London Stone and subsequently broke each pair of glasses against the stone over and over again while condemning him. This makes a strong statement about what is acceptable within the city of London itself. What they're saying is that there are rules and regulations, and London is a place that regulates itself, and the stone is central to that understanding of what Londonness is. We lost part of the London Stone during the Great Fire of London, as we lost many things. And from that point in time, we have references to, quote, the remaining part of the London Stone. However, we still have this little bit that remains by Cannon Street. It's an interesting way to think about how Londoners see themselves, the way that we've changed how addresses and thinking about the city itself works. We now have roads and particularized addresses, which the stone itself has, instead of being a place where you would make addresses from. It's an interesting bit of psychogeography, which is the way that we think about cities. So, when you look at the London Stone, you're seeing a kind of mythological idea about London that persisted well into the early modern period. However, we just don't know what it is.